Shalom Yashala. I'm gonna start by saying all praise, all glory, all honor, all blessing, all power belong to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem and Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us will well and will well. Salutation to the Arkham that's on highways and byways doing this work, and truth and sincerity to the four corners of the earth, and much respect unto the elect and the hopeful elect, sons and daughters of Yashala that step in the way of righteousness in the name of Yahweh, Yahushua Mashiach. Shalom, shalom. Today's lesson is about the M.O.T.B, the microchip. It's the M.O.T.B without a dot. When you finish watching that video, you're gonna know that the microchip is the M.O.T.B. See? And leave no doubt about it. We got those scoffers in Israel telling you that the mark, the M.O.T.B is sin. See? And this video gonna put those things to rest and see for yourself what's coming. And those Israelites that's scoffing and that's been hard-headed, they see those things coming, but they're not giving the people the warning. Day and night, they're supposed to give. When you watch me for Israel, you're supposed to give the warning to our people day and night. This is our job, Yashala, right? At the end of the day, this is the job of the prophets to give warning to Yashala, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore heed the word of my mouth, and give them warning for me. See, when I said unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from the wicked ways, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. See, we give them warning of things to come, of what the M.O.T.B is, which is the microchip, for them not to take it. But those watchmen are blind, and they refuse to give the people, the so-called black, Latino, and American, warning of things to come. See, if you take that mark, if you take the microchip, guess what? You're gonna be destroyed, and their blood gonna be in their own hand. Because starting with the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, they have been giving warnings to our people for decades and decades on, right? For a very long time, and they refuse to listen to what's going on, right? And that's what the Lord gonna put in judgment upon this earth. Those that receive the mark gonna be destroyed, right? Let's go to another scriptures. 2 Ezra 16 verse 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to die battle, and those evil will be even as pilgrim upon this earth. See, as you can see, Yahweh, power by Hashem, is telling his people, you so-called black, Latino, and Native American of the 12 tribe of Israel, to take warning of things to come, of the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, especially revelation 13 and 16. Right? This is the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai that given unto his only begotten son Yahushua Mashiach, and in turn give it to the angels to warn our people of things to come, and to not take the mark, which is the microchip. Right? And then, but our people being stiff-necked, see, scoffing at those things, and rebel against the true word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, because they're not spiritually discerned, right? Because they cannot discern, they're not circumspect. They can see those things. They can see those things that warn them, right? Because Yahweh power by Hashem Yahushai didn't wake them up to that prophecy, and they scoff at it, right? But watching this video will show you how the M.O.T.B is, right? What it is and how it's gonna be implemented, right? Let's go watch that video, right? This is from GMS, Fear the Most High. M.O.T.B is being made manifest.
The Federal Reserve is considering a digital dollar. The implications for privacy and freedom are frightening.
This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that.
Right.
But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
CBDC. If that happens, we're done.
So you might have missed what happened Wednesday afternoon at the Fed, but they started their CBDC. Maybe we should start having the conversation of, gosh, this looks like the mark of the beast.
COVID makes it accelerates the.
Even someone who look like the Eden, who's not even of this faith, know what the mark is, right? Even this man is saying, no, that seems like the mark of the beast, and he's exactly right. What's going on here? And he sees it for himself. And but the Israelites, those Israelite groups that say they're awake, refuse to give the warning to our people that those things are gonna come for them not to take it, right? Even the heathen, even the Babylonians, those Egyptians are wiser than the children of light, right? Let's keep playing.
Process of digitalization and automatization, it legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance even in democratic countries, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin. And why is the sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movements and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip.
The third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability.
Most people don't want to know what's in the vaccines.
But yet when we open it almost 2 years into this, we find that it still says intentionally plain.
In fact, nobody wants to know what's in the vaccines because, look, if people understood what was in the vaccine, they'd go apeshit.
And you see, the difference of this forced industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you if you take genetic editing.
This is one of my favorite podcasts in the last year. In fact, it's taken a year for the two of us to get together. This is a guy that you're going to meet has a foot in the future, both feet in the future, a clear view of the complicated world that awaits us, a world that is much, much nearer than you might realize. The things of science fiction are coming quickly. You will not recognize your life by 2030. He has a couple of theories as a futurist that are pretty shocking on how fast change will come. Things are going to be automated. You're going to be able to change your body through automation, through implants, but also through CRISPR. We'll be able to cure disease, and it's already here. Industries, communication, everything will change. The very fabric of morality is going to be challenged, which is why today's guest is so important. He has devoted himself to the difficult questions posed by such a transformation. What are the dangers of this technology? What are the dangers of augmentation? What are the dangers of AI, AGI, and ASI? What about the meddling with your own thoughts. Could you get somebody to vote for somebody without them knowing it? Could you get them to buy a product? How bad will it get? The thing I like about him is he also talks about solutions. His stance on cryptocurrency, the idea that paper currency is going to become a thing of the past soon. He studied at the aeronautical and astronautical engineering department at Purdue University. This is the same school that produced Neil Armstrong and several other astronauts. He's wicked smart. He's worked in Tokyo on the leading edge of technology. He has seen the innermost parts of Silicon Valley. He is the editor of The Bleeding Edge and chief technology analyst for Bonner and Partners. You are going to love Jeff Brown. So let's start with something that was in the news that I read from IBM that it didn't happen, and that is quantum supremacy.
Right.
First of all, explain what that is.
Sure. So quantum supremacy has been obviously predicted for decades and decades, a half of a century, and it's the moment at which a quantum computer can outperform the most powerful classical computer on Earth. Mm-hmm. And right now that computer is called Summit. It was actually partially built by IBM, and it's one of the Department of Energy's national laboratories, and it's capable of something called 200 petaflops per second, which is just imagine football field sized data centers full of racks and racks of very powerful computers and servers, and the job is simply just to compute the most complex problems known to man. That's what that was designed for. And one
football field size.
Okay. So you connect all of these systems together, and they're one large, massive supercomputer. Okay. And the U.S. has the most powerful supercomputer on Earth. That's the Summit. For perspective, the quantum computer that was developed by Google is the size of a refrigerator.
Wow.
And there's a couple racks of equipment that kind of help orchestrate everything, but it's not a big computing system. It's the size of a refrigerator. And that single computer was able to outperform Summit, the most powerful supercomputer on Earth. And the way they tested it is they developed a very complex problem to solve. And the quantum computer at Google solved it in 200 seconds. 200 seconds. And Google calculated that it would take the Summit computer about 10,000 years to solve the same problem.
How do they know they got it right? I mean,
so the measure is to be able to crunch that massive amount of data and come to a conclusion.
So how does that change? How does that change things?
Honestly, it changes everything. The truth is that we'll look back on this 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and this will be one for the history books.
This is like a moon landing.
This is absolutely a moon landing.
And it was something that recently there were lots of people that said, "Oh, that's a long way down the road."
Correct. As recently as last year, experts were saying we are a long way away from quantum supremacy.
10 years plus.
Absolutely.
And we just hit it, and it kind of went by, and nobody noticed. And this is the thing that I really wanted to have you on, because we had a conversation about a year ago.
Right.
We were just happened to be in a hotel at the same time at a conference, and you and I pulled a room off to the side just to talk for a little while. And my frustration is that life is going to change so much in the next 10 years. And it's either going to be great or it's going to be horrific. and I don't know which, but I'm excited to find out. But nobody's talking about it.
They call it part of the fourth industrial revolution.
One of the features of this fourth industrial revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change. Up until now, the conversation we've been having is around freedom of speech. Once we can access people's thoughts and access people's emotions.
The focus, as all of you know today, is on what's now called the Internet of Bodies, involving medical implants and other kinds of devices that go inside your body and all together with the Internet as a whole comprise the Internet of Bodies.
The Internet of Bodies, or IOB, is actually an ecosystem. It's a bunch of devices that are connected to the Internet that contain software and that either collect personal health data about you or can alter the body's function. We think of the Internet of Bodies as this collection of all these devices as well as all the data that the devices are gathering about you. And in healthcare, Internet of Bodies has been around for quite a while.
So the Internet of Bodies, imagine the power of AI. What is artificial intelligence? It's a way to automate computation and cognition. So we can now automate learning, perceiving, doing computation. It's a pervasive general purpose technology that will be used in all of our industries, that will come into our professional networks, our private networks, our schools, our industries and our offices. What I wanted to epitomize with the Internet of Bodies is this notion that we will be under assessment, we will be under measure of computation in every aspect of our lives in the future, from what you eat, who you date, what you buy on the internet, how much energy you use, but also what are your vital signs, how well are you doing in terms of health, what kind of specific genetic quirks do you have, what's your genome telling about your health, about your mental health, about how well you are doing, how well you are aging, what kind of disease you are susceptible to.
It has a bit of an Orwellian twinge to it.
Well,
we tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability, and also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking. He wrote the book and did the documentary, The Princes of the Yen, about the Japanese central bank. Here he is in Malmo, Sweden, in May.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this, and they showed him. And he's a top executive director of another central bank in Europe, and there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
A British company has an idea that would let you ditch your wallet or purse and still be able to pay for things. The company Walletmore says the $300 chip is the size of a grain of rice. You'd most likely have it implanted in your hand, and once it's activated, you can use it at a checkout by just swiping your hand over the card reader.
FTX blew up in spectacular fashion. It looks like fraud. But in the wake of that, rather than thinking through, why did regulators let this happen, there's a new effort underway to regulate every single financial transaction that occurs in this country through something called the Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. If that happens, we're done.
So you might have missed what happened Wednesday afternoon at the Fed. but they started their CBDC. Maybe we should start having the conversation of, gosh, this looks like the mark of the beast.
COVID makes it accelerates the process of digitalization and automatization. It legitimizes the deployment of mass surveillance even in democratic countries, and it makes surveillance go under your skin.
Catherine Austin Fitz, I have a question for you, ma'am. These central bank digital currencies, how do they work?
So it's a digital currency and an all digital system that can be controlled centrally. So, for example, we saw during COVID-19, there were rules saying you couldn't travel more than a certain amount of miles from your house, right? So there's certain behaviors you couldn't do. This is a digital system where the central bankers, in very centralized ways, can make rules about what you can and cannot do with your money, and they can enforce the rules with total surveillance.
If people were to read Executive Order 14067, what kind of things are they going to find within Biden's Executive Order 14067?
So they're not going to understand what CBDCs are by reading the executive order. So I would recommend that everybody go to Solari.com, and there's a section on the homepage called Cash Every Day. And if you click on it, there are a series of videos that will explain to you in very short order. The first one is a 56-second video from Augustine Carstens, the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, who will explain to you in 56 seconds exactly how CBDCs will work.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference.
As you can see, Yashala, the Lord is making their own tongue to fall upon themselves, right? Let's go to Psalm 64 and 8. Let's start at 6. Psalm 64 verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and their heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. See, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, those people, they do their diligent search, they do all those things to have total control over the population with their M.O.T.B, with their microchip. And they're very deep in what they do and what they look for and how they accomplish their wicked device, right? Verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, all that see them shall flee away. See, all that see them shall flee away. Now everybody gonna see them. The Lord is talking about those of us that's awake to this truth, those who know, those of us that's in the know. That's what the Lord is talking about. All that see them shall flee away. Those that got the insight, the wisdom to see what's going on, what's coming around the corner, right? The M.O.T.B is around the corner, right? And the warning have been sent. And that's exactly what the way you're supposed to look at things, right? Right? And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh power, for they shall wisely consider for his doings. See, once you're wise, when the Lord give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, those things you're gonna consider of all those doing of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. See? And that's exactly what we're doing. We consider the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We consider the prophecy that's coming to pass right now. And those things are coming to pass, right? Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I'm reproved? And Yahweh power answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that it may run that with it. See, that's it. So he said, blessed is he that with it, and hear the word of prophecy. That's the same thing Revelation is telling you right now. Just the thing Habakkuk is saying, Revelation is saying the same thing. Once you're wise man, once you're the prophet, once the teachers of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and they have chosen you to wake up with this truth, to this prophecy, hey, You have to read for those things. You have to search for those things. Right? For the visions is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. We at the end, that vision of the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, is speaking right now. But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come to pass. It shall surely come and will not tarry. All those things gonna truly come, and they're not gonna tarry when we're at the end right now. And that's why it's not tarry right now. That's why those devils gonna come down unto us having great wrath, because they know they got a short time. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. See, this man that got all those wicked mischief in their hand, all those wicked laws they're passing, right? All this wicked device they're coming with. The soul is Esau, Edom. It's not upright in him, which is the so-called white man. His soul is not upright in him. But the just shall live by faith. Who's the just? Yashala, you so-called black, Latin, and American. You are the sons of the just, right? Those that do the will of the Most High. You are the just, right? And you're gonna live by faith. You're gonna believe in the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because at the end of the day, his word are faithful and truth, and whatever he says will happen, will happen. Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not a power that he must lie. It's not gonna lie. Because the word that he spoke of, it's not gonna come back void unto him, right? He has stole his word above his name. That's the power we're dealing with, which is Yahweh. Why Yahushua Mashiach? That's what we're dealing with. The Most High power, Yahweh, and his only begotten son Yahushua Mashiach. Right? And that's the time of day that we in, Yashala. Right? And that's why we're supposed to give glory unto our power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And those kind of people we're dealing with. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 4:16. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. It's the nature for them to done mischief, and they can sleep without thinking of evil ways. Why? Unless they fall, the righteous to fall. They're gonna cause a lot of Israelite of Yashala to fall. So-called black, Latino American. We're gonna follow after this man, right? You're gonna go after his ways. You're gonna worship the beast, right? That's what you're exactly gonna do, because it's deep. Because whatever they think about is really deep. They don't wake up one day and say that's the way it goes. They go to sleep and think about those things, and the Lord put them in their mind for them to do so. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drank the wine of violence. That's exactly what they have done. See? All they have done is wickedness. And with their philosophy, they have done the wine of violence. All they think about is violence. Right? And they bring more miserable ways unto this earth, not only to Yashala, but to all the earth, to the animals. And the animals are suffering because of this man, right? Every time they say they got a solution, they don't. Right? They never do, because their job is to create the chaos and come with the solution. It's not in them to do good. Right? Let's go to Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, like the Proverbs 4:16 said, right? They sleep not, they cause someone to fall. They done mischief, and they cause someone to fall, right? And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it's in the power of their hand. It's in the power of Esau's hand right now. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Esau is in the fullness of his sufficiency. Is in the fullness of his power. So whatever they're doing, they practice it. they make it come to pass, because it's in the power of their hand, because the Yahweh about the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Why? Because the Lord have given them the power to do so. And they come and fail and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, with all those wicked devices that cannot come with, right? They covet away of what a man's do. See, they covet a man's freedom. Not even freedom, but liberty. Because liberty is bound by laws. Freedom, when Esau come to go toward freedom, you want to be free from the law. Because everything in the universe is governed by laws. Under the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, every entity is under liberty of the law, but not freedom. Freedom is Esau's word of saying you want to be free from the law, because the Lord is the perfect being. Right? A lot of people confuse freedom and liberty as the same thing. It's not. When someone says they want freedom, they want free from something, right? Free from domination, right? Free from something, free from the law. That's what they want to be. But there's the liberty of the law. Because under the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you have certain liberty that you can do things, but you're still bound by the law. Because at the end of the day, if a man is perfect, it's by the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? Verse 3. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh power by Hashem Yahushai, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, for which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go utterly, for these times the evil is coming, the coming of the end is gonna be evil times. Evil gonna be bigger, evil gonna be on the earth as pilgrim upon this earth, right? And it's coming for all the wicked, Esau, Edom, and all the other nation and our own people that hold hand with this man can be punished for them. That's the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And Yahweh power by Hashem Yahushai is not playing with Esau. And he knows it too. Right? This is exactly the time that we are in, Yashala. Right? Let's go to Revelation 13 and 16. Revelation 13 verse 16. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that mark is the microchip. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast and the number of his name. See? If you don't have that chip, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast and the number of his name. If you don't have that chip, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell. The mark is not sin. Alright? For it says specifically why all those things gonna happen, because Esau knows they're gonna get a short time. Let's go to Revelation 12, verse 12. Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is coming down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he have a short time. But a short time, Esau got a short time to bring his enterprise to fruition, and he knows it. That's why they say about 2030, the life that we live now is gonna be drastically different, because Esau knows he got a short time. He's got to bring his enterprise, because he's the liar, he's the accuser, and he's the controller, right? He wants to control. He's gonna play the Mosiah, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, like he's God, right? And one of the signs of if you take that mark, you're gonna die, right? Let's go to Revelation 14 and 4. Verse 14 and 9. Revelation 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, people say the mark is sin. Are you gonna receive sin? Are you gonna buy and sell with sin? That's the problem that those people, those scoffers, and Israel is running into. That they must answer those kind of scriptures to make their fit their lies or their misunderstanding of the scripture, right? Because sometimes the genuine doesn't know, but a lot of time they know exactly what's going on, but they decide to lie because a lot of them are paid off. See? The same, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture unto the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. See? Whoever take that mark and worship the beast and accept the way of the beast, the wickedness of the beast, and want to hold hand with Babylon, with Esau, Edom, hey, they're gonna pay. They're gonna be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. See, with nuclear fires coming into chariots, destroying what's left. That's exactly the time that we are in, Yashala, right? And show you like they're gonna use the sorceries, the pharmaceutical or the health organization to do so, right? Because the Most High says so, right? Let's go to Revelation, you see, 18 and 23. Revelation 18 verse 23. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all ending, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be no more at all ending, no more heard, no more at all ending. For them thy merchants were the great men of the earth, and for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. See, they're gonna use health, like just like they use the jump shot, right? The juice, the C19, right? To bring the enterprise to pass. They're gonna do the same thing again. They're gonna use the sorcery, the pharmakia, the healthcare system, the WHO, to bring this device, the M.O.T.B, the microchip, to pass. And those things are sorceries they're gonna use to bring those things to pass, right? Because they wanna play God. They say they want to drain men to machine. That called the fourth industrial revolution. That is not to change. It's not the change we're gonna see, but it's the change that's in us that they wanna change. Because they want to have control over our body, just like the Most High have control over us. That's exactly the man Esau. He's a pride man, and he wanna play God. He wanna be like the Most High, and the Lord gonna destroy him for that, and he gonna fall on his own sword. Because the sword was a blessing unto him, but also a curse. And by the sword, he that live by the sword shall die by the sword. Because Esau have lived by the sword. And it's been the sorcery, the pharmakia they use, the pharmacy, the healthcare systems. It's a sword that they use to bring the enterprise. And with that, I hope you brothers and sisters will edify. I'm gonna give all praise, all glory, all honor, all blessing, all wisdom, all truth belong to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that teach us well and will well truth, the Wakakodash. Salutation to the Akim that's in highways and byways doing this work in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And most respect unto the elect and the hopeful elect, sons and daughters of Yashala, that step in the way of righteousness in the name of Yahweh. Wa Yahushua Mashiach. Shalom, Shalom, Abba Babo, Kom Yashuala.